Hello campers, yeah, the sun is out, sort of, summer's here, and it's time to sit inside and do a pickups video. You know, what's better than everybody's favourite pickups video? Sitting inside, out of the sun, you know, showing everybody what I've bought. Yeah, it's just a mixture of stuff. I think I mentioned in the last one how I would be slowing down, obviously because it was sort of like a post-Christmas games buying binge, and although that hasn't been possible because of Gamestation's financial plight. And I got a tip from Craig Sherry, who's just so on the ball. He sent me a message saying highlighting their plight and all the stuff that he'd been able to buy, and that I should get down there. And that sort of made me a bit sort of tense and nervous that if I didn't get down there straight away, I might be missing out on some just bona fide bargains. so essentially, I've not been able to keep true to my word. But although a lot of them are, you know, sort of 50p, not even £1 purchases. So it looks like I spent maybe I've spent more than I have. Well, you know, really, in all honesty, I haven't spent that much money at all. So, so I might as well get on with it. There's a couple of things that aren't even game related. So, well, you could maybe create a tenuous link, but I'll just crack on, because some of them are for just after Christmas. So I keep forgetting about them. So it's all in all, this pile that I've got is slightly misleading, but I'll get on with it anyway. This is one that I've been meaning to show you for the last couple of videos. It's the DVD that I bought. It was Ghost in the Shell 2.0, the reimagined, not the reimagined, the sort of the rejigged, sort of the extra CGI. But I've not actually watched it, but it's got this strange, or especially the 2.0 version, because it has two versions in there. It's the original. The 2.0 version has this strange combination of hand-drawn animation and CGI, which it's obviously striking, because it's always going to be striking, but it's strange how the main character, Kusanagi, is it Kusanagi? Yeah. How at one point she's drawn in, she's hand-drawn, and at one point she's CGI. Just it sort of chops and changes, which is quite strange, but you know, effective. That was £3 in HMV. I remember the day I bought it. This was going back just after Christmas. The day I bought it, I saw £3. Yeah, great. I love that, because it was something I've never actually had. Ghost in the Shell, the film. And I went into another HMV that same day, and then they had it for £5. And I thought if I'd bought it for £5, that would have really pissed me off if I'd seen it for £3 the same day. I mean, it really annoys me the way they do that, but. Cracking on, this is from a market stall in Watford, their indoor market. It's open on really annoying days, like Tuesdays, Fridays and Saturdays. So if you don't go to Watford on any of those days, it's not open. And I like indoor markets, I've decided. DVD, it's at the Water Margin. Who remembers this? This will be one for the UK retro TV aficionados. I don't think it was ever released anywhere else. But loosely based, I think it's the story that the Suikoden video games are based on. It's about the 108 stars, 108 heroes. Look, there you go. It's only 2 episodes, but 9 dozen heroes and 1 wicked man. No one will ever escape alive. That's pretty much what the story is. I think it's 108 freedom fighters. It's a Japanese production dubbed in English, I think. A lot like the Monkey. I'm sure I must have watched this as a kid. but I can barely remember Monkey. And no, I can remember Monkey, just sort of like very sort of. I can remember this less. It's second hand. I'm quite keen to. I've not actually watched it. I'm quite keen to have a butcher's. A couple of charity shop purchases, or one of them anyway. A peripheral, one that I had sort of wanted. You know, is it's just a Wii wheel. I think it's the official Formula 1 2009 wheel. I think it needs a bit of a clean. It's a bit grimy, but this was only 50p in the Watford giant Watford Christian charity shop, and it's actually more comfortable than the Mario Kart, the official wheel. So, but yeah, and now I can have a two-player game on Mario Kart Wii, and we can both have wheels. So, if I've ever got friends around, fancy a game. In another periphery, that was 50p. Another periphery for 49p this time. This is another one I've had for months. Just after Christmas I got this. Go away! See you later. See when the phone's stopped ringing or I've answered it. If you answer the phone at a certain time of day, it's always someone selling something. Either that, or it's one of those bloody automated voices. They just they just drive me up the wall. Yeah, a G-Con 2. It was loose in a Gamestation's window for 49p. This was around the 49p sale, retro sale, and now I can have some dual wielding on any PS1, PS2 light gun games I've got. A couple of charity shop purchases, only 99p each. This one of them's particularly good. I'll show you the slightly lesser one first. This is really for nostalgia purposes, nostalgia reasons, because I had this. And a lot of people buy games back that they used to have, and this is one of mine that I used to have. And I always remember I never really gave it a proper good try. But it's obviously part of when released at the same time that the Boxster was released. But it looks okay. I'm not massively into racing games, but this is like purely for nostalgia. Slightly more a game that I was more interested in as a game itself is Crash Bandicoot. For 99 English pence. Is that showing right? There it is. Yeah, for 99p. Well, it's got a whacking great bitch of a sticker on the back. Yeah, surprisingly, I didn't realise how expensive this was, but I remember watching Pete, Synesthetic, buy it. Everybody says, don't they, what they've seen Pete do. They've been speaking to Pete. Everybody knows Pete. Pete's everyone's friend. So that's not a dig. Don't take seriously. Don't take that as a dig. That's just an observation. Pete's everyone's mate. That's a compliment. Pete's a top lad. But I did I did see him buy it, and he mentioned how expensive it was, and it is really expensive. You know, but I had no idea it was. But it's a game I've never actually played. I've not played too many PS1 platformers, but a really disappointing cash converters purchase. This game called Shattered Union, and it was only 50p. Only 50p. This is a game I've been looking at for a while. It's sort of like a turn-based strategy game. It's like a alternate history thing, where I think it's like a war between Russia and the United States. And you know, I remember reading about it and thought, that doesn't look too bad. It's not an expensive game, so I've never been prepared to pay too much for it. And it's dirt cheap on eBay, but I'd never want to pay postage, which obviously hikes the price up. So I saw it for 50p and I thought, yeah, great. And I jumped in it. Didn't have any cash, so I even had to go and ask the guy if they had a minimum car payments. He said, no, it's fine. So I paid 50p with my card for this. Then only when I got it home, realised it's all in Italian. It's Italian. That's the second time I've done that. I bought a copy of Resident Evil 4 on the Wii, from a charity shop for about £2 once. I thought, wow, and just jumped on it, didn't even think. And then turned out it was in French. I've got a feeling, I've not tested it, this one will be okay. The game's probably in English. It's just probably the sleeve and the manual that will be in Italian. But this copy of Resident Evil 4, it turns out the game is actually in French, all bar the voiceovers, the voice acting, which has subtitles anyway. So, if anybody speaks French and wants a copy of Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube, just drop me a line and I'll you can have it. Actually, wrong way round. This one will come first. This was a game purchase. This was 49p. Drakengard. Sort of like a cross between. I think it's in a cross between Panzer Dragoon Auto, or Panzer Dragoon, and Dynasty Warriors. So I'm not a massive fan of Dynasty Warriors, but you combine it with sort of Panzer Dragoon, it makes it sound more interesting. And I think a few people have bought this recently. I know Kazina's bought both of these. This one, the sequel, and I thought, yeah, why not? That was at 49p, and it's sort of my sort of game, you know. It's not like I'm just buying it willy-nilly. I've not said willy-nilly in years. I don't know why I said it now. Two CEX purchases. This one was just sort of, I saw it and I thought, yeah, that is on my list. And it's a Contra Shattered Soldier for £3.50. There's two Contra games on the PS2. This one is sort of more true to the rest of the other games in the series, its predecessors. The other ones are sort of like a try to move into 3D. It's slightly less successful. I think this is a slightly better game, but they're both hard as nails. I've not tried it. I should do, because I know I'm going to enjoy it. But it's supposed to be rock hard. That was just a purchase. It was just all cash. But I bought this with credit. And this is an interesting game because it's a late PS2 fighter, and it's Guilty Gear. I was thinking of the name. Guilty Gear XX Accent Core Plus. It's from 2010. 2010. So this is a late PS2 game, and it's an interesting game because it's obviously a niche. It's a niche genre, and it's like a niche series of games within a niche genre. So I mean, Guilty Gear have never been the biggest sellers, have they? And they're always cheaper games. This was £8, but like I said, it was credit. So this is a strange release as a sort of a late PS2 release. I mean, I can understand FIFA because FIFA is always going to be big sellers, but this isn't a FIFA, is it? This is a niche within a niche. But also, what makes it interesting is after I'd actually bought it, I thought I'd been stiffed. I thought it didn't have a manual, but it does. I thought it was just a leaflet, but this is the manual. The scrimping on manuals goes back further than this current gen. Look at that. The only thing that really is of any use is that page. It's just basically, there's no story. There's no story, it's literally just bare bones controls. So they had it on the PS2 as well. The scrimping on manuals, which it's obviously going to happen, but it's not something that I like. But bastards, I would much rather have a manual. I've realised I don't like it when DVDs don't have something in the other side. I know obviously you don't need anything with a DVD, do you? But it just feels like the whole package is more balanced when you get something on the opposite side of the case. When you open up a DVD, you have the disc there, and then maybe like a booklet or something to read, or even a leaflet, something. It looks more balanced. It feels like you're getting something with more substance. It doesn't feel like they're scrimping. And they always have the little clips anyway, so there's obviously room for something to be slotted in, don't they? So it looks like they've taken something away rather than actually adding something. So it looks like they're scrimping, which is obviously what they're doing there, because it's got the slightly newer, cheaper cases with the thinner plastic and without memory card holder. But it's an interesting game to have, obviously, because it's such a late release. And these next 9 games are all Gamestation purchases in their sales. First one is Battlefield Bad Company for £2.98. I thought, you know, I've been getting into my current gen. I'm so far behind. I've been playing a lot more current gen first-person shooters, and I just thought I just generally need to catch up. I'm going to be playing catch up until the 360 is long gone, aren't I? But a whole load of Wii. I've been going a bit mad on the Wii now. These are all games that were on my list, have been on my list, but they're all games that are not expensive, and I've not been prepared to pay too much for them. And obviously, with the sale, their prices have come right down. And I think No More Heroes for £1.98. But these are all games that everybody will know. They're not they're all good games, but they're not sort of, you know, interesting collector's items or anything. It's just, you know, they're all for game purposes, the purposes of playing rather than collecting. Yeah, so that was £9.98. Guilty Gear Core, which is obviously 98p. Guilty Gear Core. I'm tempted to get an arcade stick for the Wii, because they're the cheapest. Arcade sticks are difficult to get hold of anyway, but the Wii ones seem to be the cheapest. And there are a few fighters on the Wii. There's another Guilty Gear game. I think it's the Wii version of that actually, and they're both pretty expensive. But so there's a few, and there are others besides these two. You know, it's sort of worthwhile, because you can get like the Tatsunoko vs Capcom arcade stick for less than 20 quid, maybe 15 quid, which, you know, arcade sticks on other systems is ridiculously expensive and really difficult to get hold of anyway. But another one which was dirt cheap was Geometry Wars Galaxy, which is obviously a really nice arcade shooter. Actually, I've got these were all with credit. I had credit. I never have game credit, because you always have to sort of build it up, and you have to sort of spend it in £2.50 batches. But I had some this time, so a lot of this was paid for with credit. And the one that's more interesting than those two is Sam & Max Season 1. It's a point-and-click game, and it's supposed to be really funny. It sounds exactly like my sort of game, a funny point-and-click game. And I've realised that if any game is genuinely funny and goes out of its way to be funny, that's one of the reasons why I love Skull Monkeys so much, because it is genuinely funny, and it's not like sophisticated humour, and it doesn't really try to be sophisticated. It knows where it lies, where its sort of appeal lies, and it goes with it. And I'm guessing this is the same. It looks really wacky, but this season 1 isn't quite as isn't quite as scarce as I thought it was. I thought, yeah, wow, yeah, scarcity, but it's not quite as scarce as I thought it was. It's the season 2, which is the scarce one, which looks quite difficult to get hold of. Well, they shouldn't be too difficult to track them down on eBay. But going more on Nintendo now, it's a different system. Obviously, with my recent DS purchases, I've been looking to buy some DS games, and I think this one 98p and 190. Can't remember actually. Yeah, was it? Or was it 2.99? This is 1.98. Can't remember. But two games I can remember being recommended by the one and only reviewers that I wholeheartedly trust. The now defunct Game Central and Teletext. I always remember them recommending these games and saying how good they were. But Elite Beat Agents and Rhythm Paradise. But seriously, somebody, if anybody used to read Game Central on Teletext, let me know, because they were literally they were the best reviews I've ever read, and I would trust 100% anything they recommended, their reviews. This one's a replacement, and this is probably the best bargain that you could get in this recent Gamestation fire sale. It's Advance Wars Dark Conflict for 98p. I bought a copy of this recently, and I've never been particularly happy with the condition. And I saw this for 98p, and it's an opportunity to get one with that won't annoy me with its sort of slightly rough edges. And obviously I can just trade the other one to CEX and get some credit. So yeah, I had to jump on that one. And probably the best bargain of this recent batch of stuff is Dragon Quest Hand of the Heavenly Bride. It's Dragon Quest 5. I don't know why they don't call it Dragon Quest 5, but they should do. For some reason, this is slightly more difficult to get hold of and a bit expensive than the others. I think one of the reasons probably is to do with the fact it's not called Dragon Quest 5. I think Dragon Quest 4 isn't Dragon Quest 4, it's Dragon Quest something else. And they cottoned on when they got to 6 and then jumped to 9. I don't know what happened to 7 and 8. If anybody knows, can they let me know? But yeah, so this is $4.98, and I'd been looking at this beforehand and realised how expensive it was on eBay. Or actually in CEX. CEX is about 25 quid. eBay it's slightly less, maybe 20. But the others in the series are a lot less, and for some reason, I don't know why, but that one is more expensive. So, or any Dragon Quest game for $4.98, as the girl in Gamestation where I bought it, she said, well, that's a bargain for a Dragon Quest game. So I had to, and it's a game. Obviously, it was a game that I wanted to buy anyway. So. Finally, this is my one major purchase of these last few weeks. It's almost not an investment as such, but a game that I got a bit wary about, that it might disappear from the shelves, especially with the plight of Gamestation. They're not selling it, and I've not ever seen it. I've never seen it in store anywhere, and a few people have bought it, and it seems to be. I got it from Zavvi. It seems to be quite good value for money. There's a lot of stuff in it. I'm going to get it out in a minute, trust me. But I know because it's a special edition or limited edition, as it says, box set, it'll hold its money. Because it's a brand new game. I generally don't buy brand new games unless I know I'm getting my money's worth, and that seems to be very important to me. You know. Subconsciously it is, and then obviously I do like to get my money's worth. If I know a game I buy is just going to lose value within a matter of days, I just won't go there. But I know this one should hold its value because it's the last story, limited edition, not limited edition, slightly scarce maybe, but they're not limited edition. Please stop trying to make. It's got a lot of good stuff in it though, I'll give it that. There's a lot of good stuff, and it's a really hefty box set. I'd say it's better value than the Xenoblade Chronicles box set. I mean, that was probably the slightly better game, but that just came with a box, the game, and a red controller. This one has just a whole world of shit in it. A world of shit. A whole world of stuff. And again, I've not tried it, but this came from Zavvi, and I had one of their 10% emails, 10% off emails, so I got it for just over 34 quid, which I can't imagine it being any less than that for me on eBay for quite a while. So I took the plunge, even though I can't strictly afford it. I've got my birthday coming up soon anyway, so I'll get some money for that. So then I was sort of trading on that really, the fact that my birthday's coming up. So, whoa, 24 and a bit minutes. Yeah, I don't think there will be many purchases for a long while. I'm going to stick to my words this time. Although I'll probably have a quick butcher's in a Gamestation. I'll be sad to see him go. If they hopefully they won't. Hopefully somebody will step in, because there'll be a massive hole in the high street, won't there? A massive gap. There'll be nowhere other than CEX to trade stuff in, and it'll be criminal. I like that. Anyway, that'll be sad, but hopefully they'll still be around. Thanks for watching. I've still got other videos in the pipeline, my PS1 collection video. So look out for that, and see you later. Thanks for watching.